Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Mary, and today we are starting season 2 of the Clone Wars. So, episodes 1, 2, and 3, titled Holocron Heist, Cargo of Doom, Children of the Force. When did they come out?
So, Holocron Heist and Cargo of Doom released together on October 2nd, 2009, and then Children of the Force released October 9th, 2009.
I'll say, I did not realize this was a trilogy. That was a wonderful surprise that worked out for us.
Did because originally we were doing a different order and we changed it while announcing it on the last episode.
It just worked out. Um, I really liked these. Though I did feel like I missed an episode between 1 and 2. I feel like the recap talked about more than what actually happened. And I can't remember if we saw it in a previous episode or what.
Don't recall.
Oh yeah, so because like the first episode is all about them punishing Ahsoka for acting brashly in the battlefield, right? So
Mhm.
they put her up as security, and we meet our fly bounty hunter.
They punish her by putting her in a position that is then going to put her right back in the front of a battlefield, just of a
Which
different type.
I will say they didn't know that was going to happen. So,
And
like,
that's very true. But then they did know and still didn't move her.
I know they were just like, oh, there's someone coming. They didn't warn her.
Yeah, Yoda's like, someone's gonna try to steal this. We're just gonna leave her here to figure it out. I did appreciate as a book reader that she was sentenced to the library.
Yeah, I know. The library, she got sent there to be like, protect the books.
And the Jedis and the holocrons.
It was,
And
I think it's the vault, right? Mostly.
it's the holocron vault, yes.
Yeah, because, like,
Where was it only council members were allowed to access? Because the
yeah,
librarian said that she hadn't even been there for quite some years.
quite some years. So essentially, she's just on guard duty instead of somewhere else in the temple. I did like we met Cad Bane, and every time I see him, I'm trying to remember if I've seen him in the timeline before or I just remember him from
The
Mandalorian.
timeline. We had his history in the Destiny, one of those
Oh
ones.
yes, yes.
We
We
got
did get him.
his history of him and his friend and then getting
Oh
separated. So
yeah, and like one of them died. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. I we did get his backstory.
yes. But this is
And
the first time
why
we had seen him since that backstory.
yeah, so he's an adult. He's a vicious bounty hunter with no morals.
He belongs in
Um,
the Wild West.
I know, this fucking sorry. His cowboy look is hilarious to
I
me.
love it. I just he just needs his own series and it's just a Western.
I feel like we see him in Mandalorian, which we'll find out in the future, but I feel like if they had made like a live action spin-off of that, that would be good.
Mentally, I think it'd be good, but we know that Boba Fett was very much Western themed and I didn't love it as much.
And I
So,
didn't like it as much
but
either.
we'll talk about that in the future.
I did enjoy that his techno service droid was called Toto 360.
I had that.
And they kept calling him a butler droid, and he's like, I'm not.
It was so he had so much personality.
I know. I was so sad to see him, blow up at the end.
And then the librarian was Madame Jocasta.
Yeah.
And we have our chameleon friend who just
A
changes into
changeling.
people.
I literally wrote, I was like, that's so messed up that she could also like take from dead people.
You know, like that.
I did not like that. I'm like, they have no like scruples. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we killed that Jedi right there.
Yes. And so we learn in this episode that the holocron they're trying to steal, one needs a Jedi to actually open it. So it's not just that you have to have access to the holocron vault, you have to be a Jedi to be able to open it, and it lists the names of the younglings.
Yeah. It was
My my initial thought, knowing what we know of Star Wars, I was like, is this how Anakin learns how to find all the younglings? And then I felt really bad about thinking about it that way.
well, he didn't these are not younglings. These are force sensitive children that are too young
They
to
are
be
future younglings.
younglings.
These are the younglings that Anakin is going to
Going
off.
to Oh
Because
my
they're
God,
not
you're so right.
because they're not younglings yet. Like, is this how Anakin figures out how to get rid of them all? Is this moment?
Oh, that's so messed up,
I know.
Danny.
I felt really bad thinking that, but I'm like, no, it
Well,
lines
because
up.
the only reason he knows this list exists because of this episode. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Oh my God. But
So this list
cool.
is literally like because of like the timeline, and this list is most likely the younglings he's offs because by then they are now younglings.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not talk about future Anakin, though we do see glimpses of him in these three episodes, right? So
We do.
the first episode, it's funny because like in the beginning of the episode, Anakin is telling Ahsoka she has to retreat, and she's just like, but or Obi-Wan is telling her, and she's like, but Anakin has taught me that once when you
Yeah.
have them on the run, you should never retreat. And I feel like Anakin is not the best teacher.
He's not, because we also see these moments because when it happens, it's not in this episode, but I think the next one maybe is where he's not retreating and Ahsoka has to remind him literally what they just punished her for and be like, we have to have patience. Like, this is not the way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it feels like there's this constant battle of we, the episodes go, Ahsoka's in trouble for doing this thing. But by the end of the episode, Anakin is doing the
Anakin
thing
has done
she
it.
did, and she is correcting Anakin.
Yeah, that's where I'm just like, I feel very strongly that Anakin was not ready for a Padawan, right?
No.
Um,
And he like even
Especially not
mentioned
one so strong-willed as
yes.
Ahsoka.
Well, it's not even just strong-willed. He mentions it in this first episode is that he forgets because of how advanced she is, how young she is. So,
Yeah.
because her skills are above like her age range, and he's like, I forget that she's still so young.
Yeah, that I have to
And
like
even like in who how she speaks and how she handles herself, you see the young side occasionally, but then she says things and you're like, oh, she knows some stuff.
well, I feel like she's wise, but she
Yeah.
is temperamental, right?
Oh
Like
yeah. Yeah.
she has that problem.
She's
And I feel
wise,
like
but
you
she's a
see that all over the
teenager.
place. Yeah, she's a
Like,
teenager. The one thing I could not stand in this was the whole conversation where the Jedi Council and Anakin are and Obi-Wan are like, well, they're trying to break in here. The only place they could possibly want to go is the communications tower. So let's all focus all of our energy there and
mhm.
not anywhere else. And then even when they were like following him into the archives and he had already blown out his way into the vault, they saw the trap door going towards the communication center and they were like, let's go this way, as opposed to like the actual vault that you could see through the holes of
Yeah.
the metal. They did not think that that could
Could have
have
been the
been the target.
option.
Like they were
And
so blind, like
they were
so
so,
short-sighted.
yeah, they were so short-sighted, even though they knew in advance that it was just there were some choices
That's
made.
but that's what I mean. It's like all of this stuff. You think they would do all of this stuff and then abandon the library and go all like lead you on a goose chase like that? It was it was kind of weird. And then I didn't understand how Cad Bane got out of the vault. Or maybe he just walked out from the inside.
I think he pretty much walked out. He more well, he swaggered.
And then they just let him leave. And they captured the changeling, and then she flipped on him in a dime. Like there was
Oh
no
yeah, she's
loyalty
like
there. She was like, "Peace out, guys. I know where he's going.
Have fun.
But this is where, in between this and the next episode, there was a whole section about a planetary blockade and not being able to get aid. And I was like, when did that happen? I was like, that didn't happen in the last episode.
I think that was like insinuating that.
It's just like the passage of time
No, I think
because,
it's like where you see Ahsoka trying to push forward and they're like, you can't do, you can't. I think that's what they're actually referencing is that because they had to pull out, it's delayed everything.
well, no, because like this is also like Cad Bane gets a hold of this Jedi that he's looking for. And
Hmm.
I'm like, we missed the whole part where he captured the Jedi.
Oh yeah, we didn't get that.
And I was just like, oh, were they just skipping that whole part of the story? Like, we're like, we don't have time, guys. We have 1,000 episodes, but this one we do not have time to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even but getting past it, I'm like, this poor Admiral, every time he gets stuck with Anakin. And
He
it,
even says it. He just puts it right out there. He's like,
of all the Jedi, but like every time Anakin overruns him, and then like we keep going back and forth. But the one thing that like really stood out to me in the beginning of this episode, I was like, did we just watch Cad Bane literally torture this Jedi until he died?
uh-huh. And then Ahsoka found him.
And
Like
then Ahsoka
the
found him.
Padawan of all the choices you can make, you had the Padawan find him.
I
Obi-Wan's there, Anakin's there. She's who opened the door.
This is where I was like,
Could have been the clones.
we are firmly out of children's show
Yeah.
territory. I was like, the fact that that happened on screen, and even the battle droid was like, oh, that's too much. And he's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, dang, that's intense. That was intense. And then the next second, like, I can't with this show. So that happened. And after that happened, they were just bouncing around in space with helmets. And I was like, where did they get flight suits like that?
Ahsoka's got a new
Also,
look. I
I
really
like
like it.
her all red outfit.
I was like, oh, I wish this would have stayed.
I know. Well, I like she's half naked all the time, and I'm like, why couldn't we keep this maroon outfit? Um,
I think season
but
3 is when she gets her first outfit switch.
yeah. I did enjoy the battle droids in this episode.
I made so many notes on the battle droids. I'm like, in my as soon as it happened, I'm like, oh, Mayuri is dying right now. She is losing it.
What? Take this job. Sorry, I was dying this whole trilogy of episodes with the battle droids. They were hilarious. He's the commander. Like, I can't.
I'll tell you my favorite section, but it's coming up, so
Yeah.
we can get there.
Also, here's the thing: the Jedi use the Force selectively. When you're searching for a life force, I thought the whole point was that they can sense life force.
Yeah. In the
But
books, that's like the main thing. They're like, let me figure out how we get where by sensing who's around.
I feel like they do that in the movies too. So for them to just be willy nilly looking for things and not feel that one, the Jedi that was captured had died.
Do you ever think
Isn't
that
it a disturbance in the Force when a Jedi dies?
the writers forget about the
Forget?
Force? They're like,
I
they
think
focus
they
on like
do.
lightsabers battle, Clone Wars, and
I
then they have
think
these
they
moments. They're
do
like, oh, right, they could do this thing. They
with
can
the
get the
Force.
spider sense can go. Like, unless it's
Cause then,
Yoda, they're always like, "Oh right, we forgot."
cause then,
But then they were like, "But if we try to get the information out of him and use all three of you have the Force all of a sudden."
all of a sudden, we remember the Force. On the way back, right after they're leaving the like command ship back
Mhm.
to their Republic ship, Anakin, they assume that Cad Bane is dead. And he's just like, if he's dead, like I still feel him. And I'm like,
My
Obviously,
guy.
like I don't,
You're not questioning this?
no
I
one
mean,
questions it.
you don't question it. They land, Ahsoka figures it out in like 30 seconds.
She
She's like,
doesn't really figure it out though. It took her a while.
it took her a while, but they're also all dressed as clones, and you would assume that like the people in charge, but like she's standing there and she goes, wait a minute,
Yeah.
you're not a clone. And then Anakin's
Like,
like, oh, hey.
but that's why I'm just like, Anakin,
Yeah.
what
Protect
happened to
your
you
Padawan,
using the
please.
Force? Especially since, like, you can make the argument that some of the other Jedi are maybe not as Force sensitive, but
Mhm.
Anakin is.
Is, and we know this, but it's also like, but we you can't make that argument because like he's with Obi-Wan. If he was with some of the other Jedi that we didn't really know, we're like, okay, you can. He's with
He's with Obi-Wan and Ahsoka,
and
who's
Mace Windu.
also
Like
very strong. They're all very strong in the
they're
Force.
all very strong. Like, and I wonder if it's more about the writers kind of forget and then have to add it in.
Well, I feel like this show like very focuses on the battle side, and I can understand from like long range
Hmm.
um like engagement where they can't use the force, but
Yeah.
they very often forget to use the force face to face when they are powerful enough to incorporate it into their fighting, which
Yes.
we've seen them do, I feel like.
And there's
And
certain like, and the thing is, some of them should be using it second naturedly at this point.
at this point, like you would think
Ahsoka,
that
not so
Obi-Wan is
much,
always
but
using it.
Obi-Wan, it should be second nature. He moves his
Anakin
hand
it
and things
should be,
happen because
yeah,
he doesn't think about it. Like it should be
yeah,
part of them. Anakin, I could see it's not as second nature because he's kind of at war with the Force at times.
yeah. So that's why it's like going into this next episode, I was just like, well, how do you guys are constantly messing up?
Before we get to episode 3, because we have my favorite battle droid scene, because Ahsoka goes after Bane, gets captured, and then we have Anakin going to rescue her. And then there's 3 battle droids, and they're like, "You said we'd be safe back here."
Oh
And
yeah.
one of them backs up, and the other one goes, "3 of us, one of him." And then the other one goes, "It won't matter." I lost it. I saw you in my head just
I was like,
rolling.
this is where I was just like, I was losing it. I was losing it. I was laughing so hard. Where they were like,
It won't
you
matter.
said
I was
we
done.
would be safe here. So they were literally hiding from the Jedi.
But they were hiding where the guy stole the Padawan at. Like,
Mhm.
I know they're dumb, but like common sense means someone's coming after her.
They're so
So you
dumb.
are not safe. Your safest place is away from any of the Jedi.
They're so dumb. I love the battle droids. Like this show is like seriously making them my favorite.
The just the way he said the it won't matter.
They didn't even try and fight, by the way. They were just
Uh,
like,
the first one was like, you said we'd be safe, and he's like, oh, he's gone. He's already down the hall.
doesn't matter. But yeah, so this is where I like get irritated with Anakin and the Admiral, right? Like they have such a contentious relationship. The Admiral is the reason that Bane got away
Yeah.
because he was like, "What could possibly have happened between when I last saw you and right now?" Like
I
obviously,
mean, a
like
lot.
in
A
that moment,
lot.
I feel like there's a power struggle, right? Because like the Admiral doesn't like the way that Anakin goes into battle.
And
I think
he has valid reasons.
he made some weird comment about it. I can't remember if it was in this one or one of the other ones about how like, oh, like you got all your people killed and it didn't go right. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so unique. Like that's how
Like,
it
oh, so
always
you didn't
happens.
capture him. You didn't do this, but you still see it as a win.
Oh yeah, he was just like status quo with Anakin Skywalker then.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we see them all the time, just like leaving resources behind on planets,
Hmm.
like killing up. Even every time they come back, the the clones that we know are constantly like, how many of us did we lose?
Yeah.
And they're always just like, it's just us left. And you're just like, that's so wild that at the end of the day, Anakin will still consider it a win.
Yes. And it's interesting. So, like in the first episode of these three, in the beginning where you see Ahsoka like disobeying, you do see Obi-Wan has more care for the clones.
He
Because
does.
he's the one calling for retreat and he's like checking, like, and you see that, and that was kind of nice to see with them both on the battlefield because we don't see that when we're just following Anakin.
I feel like Obi-Wan is the more conservative when it comes
Yes,
to battle,
very much so.
whereas
But just
Anakin,
we didn't see it like next to them. And
yeah,
so even though Anakin wasn't making the calls, you saw Anakin's actions through Ahsoka, whereas Obi-Wan was like, no, we gotta.
yeah, like even if they're on the run over there, it's not
Yeah.
going to be good.
Yeah.
Like we lost up top, we're never going to be able to win down here.
Yeah. So
Um,
third episode.
First of all, the premise of this episode was wild. This was when I was just like, okay, I knew that we weren't marketing to kids anymore, but this is
I
even
I
worse.
straight up said baby rescue is wild.
Not just baby rescue, but like experimentation. He literally wanted to kidnap force sensitive kids to
Hmm.
experiment on to
Yes.
make them into
Spies.
brain dead slaves. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that
There-
is the level of evil genius
He was
in this
making them
man.
into like what they did to the werewolves in Crescent City.
Yeah, like sleeper slaves or whatever. It's crazy. Crazy.
Wild.
And that's why I was just like, it's crazy how much like Darth Sidious, it was so masterminding this whole thing. He was on both sides, especially with Anakin when they were like, we're gonna go chase him. And Anakin's like, well, somebody has to update the Senate, the Chancellor.
How is it that still Padme is the only one that sees a problem with this dude?
And also, or don't we know that at this point Padme and Anakin have a thing? So like the fact that Anakin still views, unless Padme hasn't voiced it to Anakin
Which is very possible.
because he admires the Chancellor so, right? So
Hmm.
the fact that Anakin in the middle of this problem was like, we need to go back and update the Chancellor. I was like, they could have used you. I just thought that was wild
Yeah.
behavior.
Well, we
And
get
then
Padme in the next episode.
I know I'm very excited for that. And then I had another question because at some point, Obi-Wan can sense there's a child or no children somewhere. But
Mhm.
Anakin walks into a room with two droids and two children and isn't like, I can sense the children.
I feel like this comes down to Anakin's flaws.
And maybe it's just because Anakin doesn't also rely on the Force like that.
And he's about to off them all in a few years, so
He doesn't care about them kids.
no.
But no, so that's why this whole thing
I
was
think
wild.
he is more focused on the mission and not the individual.
Yeah.
He wants the win.
Yeah, I feel like that's the problem, right? Anakin's always focused on the win. And
Hmm.
I think that Anakin doesn't trust in the Force as much.
No.
Because, like, I have to believe that the writers aren't completely forgetting about it from scene to scene. So there's a
I
reason.
lied. Padme is not our next episode.
I thought she was.
In uh
Oh,
episode
she's in
four
number
is
four. She's in number four.
so we're
We're,
skipping.
yeah. Oh, that chronological order really does us in.
It
So,
does.
like, I feel like they got a win at the end, but it was at a huge cost.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, what these episodes did. It
I
feels like
think
it's like a side story of something that was happening, but doesn't actually have an effect in the future, except now we know how Anakin knows how to find all the younglings.
I also wonder if we come back to this idea that
Mhm.
Sidious had
And it's very
to
possible, yes.
create like sleeper cell agents.
Hmm.
in Padawan in future Jedi, right? So it is all of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes in these episodes is wild. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just sometimes I get so frustrated watching these because I'm just like, it's so obvious to me, but I can't tell if
Yeah.
it's obvious because I
Because you
know,
know the history. I will say I did like this set of
right?
three though. I really like this set of three because we've
This
had
was
some
really
sort of where
good.
I just didn't enjoy. This one I enjoyed it from beginning to end.
Yeah, I was engaged from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I feel like they flowed really smoothly,
Hmm.
except for the weird jump where we missed an entire section of action.
Hmm.
And maybe it was intentional because we're Ahsoka focused these
Yeah.
episodes, maybe. But I don't know. I just think that we came out of these with the Jedi thinking that they had a win, but they definitely didn't. They lost two Jedi
Yeah.
just completely. And then they
Their
don't
library is
think the list has been
compromised.
copied. Their library is hella compromised. Their security is compromised.
The bounty
And then it's
hunter's
just
out.
like they had to have insider help to get in.
Yeah.
Why are we not running down that angle either?
Yeah. So from
I don't
here,
know.
we're jumping. We're going, so this was
Yes.
episode one, two, and three. We are jumping to episodes 17, 18, and 19, which are
Yeah.
Bounty Hunters, the Zillo Beast, and the Zillo Beast Strikes Back.
And then we make our way back to episode 4.
Yes. Then we get
So
back, then we
that's
actually
fine.
get back in order until we take a little break to watch The Mandalorian in preparation for the
I
movie.
can't believe we're going to be doing Mando episodes next month.
It's
Like
wild.
like in March. I'm so excited for the movie.
I'm very excited for the movie. I'm very excited for the BDX droids.
Hey, do you actually want to try and see the movie when we're in London?
I actually contemplated that do we get tickets and see it in London?
We should. Until next time, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get.